Back. Wait. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel here, and today it's been a while now. I think about it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've made a video. It's been like 2 weeks. Well, today I'm gonna be doing an alternative on how I think the Russian-Ukrainian war is gonna go. So it's been over a year Russia invading Ukraine, but if you haven't heard, Ukraine's actually starting to win. So I'm gonna do an alternative on how I think the Russia-Ukrainian war is going so far. So let me real quickly just draw the borders. Okay, after like a minute, I drew the borders. So if I'm correct, it looks something like this. Before it was like more like that, but Ukraine pushed back, and this, yeah, that's not no more. And what happened to that? So Russia moved troops through Belarus because Belarus is an ally of Russia, so they're helping. Kind of. They're not at war, but they're just letting Russia move troops to them. And that is very bad because, like, right next to the capital. So, come on. So, Russia gets closer to Kiev, but Ukraine moves Russian troops away and actually manages to kick them out. And it's only been a month. So, if I'm correct, yeah, Ukraine's winning. So, I'm going to do my own alternative. I think I already said that, so I just had to do a little arrangement. So, Ukraine pushes down into a little bit of southern occupied Ukraine and kicks out these northern troops, and actually begins to do a little push into Russia. A few months later, Ukraine looks around like this and begins to keep their way to kicking Russia out. And this is actually a bit of a problem for the Russians. So, up here in northern Russia, Russia begins kicking out the Ukrainians until they're fully kicked out and begin their pushing again. I don't know why, but the color I chose for Russia kind of looks like chewed up gum. And from there, the Russians are kicked out again, and Ukraine is back. Yada yada yada. And this is a big problem for the Russians because they have already made progress last year, and I stutter. I'm stuttering. I confess. I stutter. They're getting kicked out, and that's a problem for the Russians because Ukraine's a little valuable for them. And yep, you just saw it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Is that copyright? I don't know. So the Ukrainians keep their way into Russia, making more and more progress with it. And then they are nowhere near Moscow. But the Russians was near Kiev. So yeah. So they make their way over. So I'm gonna do this thing called the passer, and I'll put a random number, and that's how many years I think it's gonna take for it to do this. It has been 2 years, and Ukraine keeps their way pushing because America, Germany, and UK, and Norway, and many other countries is supporting Ukraine. So Ukraine's getting more and more supplies to push back the Russians. And so, big problem. This guy named Vladimir Putin says, this is getting out of control. So, Yeah. This guy, he has dropped a nuclear bomb around Odessa and Crimea. Yeah, a nuclear bomb wouldn't do that damage, but the Sage have multiple. That causes this area down here to wipe out, and then Ukraine had to retreat. And that is not good at all. You know how Poland's an ally of Ukraine? Oh yeah, by the way, I had to move so you can hear an echo a little bit. And by the way, you know how Poland's an ally of Ukraine? Yeah, so it's told that Poland wants to help Ukraine because a bomb just fell on them. A nuclear one, to be exact. And if you don't know, Russia's giving threats to Moldova now. And if you don't know what Moldova is, it's this country right there. The one I just colored in red. So, if they're losing to Ukraine, they're gonna battle a country that's much smaller than them. Like, that's not gonna fix the problem. But, anyway, well, because Russia's invading Ukraine, and I said that, I'm making my own alternative, and I said that, and I'm just saying things because I had to do something, and I didn't want to keep you bored, so after Russia dropped the nuclear bomb, Ukraine had to retreat, and now, Russia is doing heavy pushes into Ukraine. So from all sides in Russia, they did a push. They did a push. Yep. They actually cut Ukraine. And now, just look at this madness. After this nuclear bomb being dropped, this bomb affected Moldova. And because it affected Moldova, Moldova is in this war now. And because Moldova is in this war now, Russia's attacking them. And, yeah, I'm dumb. Y'all know that. And as we see, this is not looking great for Ukraine after Russia used a nuclear bomb. And this said, America is going to join this war because nuclear bomb equals no. And so America joined this war, and now NATO is getting attracted. So, France, Italy, Germany, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal, Norway, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, the Baltic states, Poland. I don't know about the Czech Republic. I'm gonna just color in them. I don't know about the Czech Republic. I don't know. I think Albania and Montenegro. I don't know. Sweden, definitely. Wait, that's not Sweden. But Netherlands. Oh my. Luxembourg, of course. I bet by then Switzerland would already be in, so. Because it's 2024 or 2025. Oh my dear, look, it's. And I think that is NATO. Yeah, I think that's NATO. Yeah, I really think this is NATO. I know there's some European countries that isn't in NATO, so I tried my best to not color them in. So, yeah. This is what. Belarus joins the war because their good old friend isn't gonna die alone. And Serbia joins this war just to get Kosovo and to help out Russia. So that means Kosovo is getting at war also because they've been at war. And because of that, this is going to cause major conflict. And I literally just covered in the entire map. Almost. So that means there's only 4 countries not at war. Bosnia and Herzegovina. I forgot what it was called. I forgot what was it? I forgot what it was called. Is it Austria? Is it? Maybe. Well, yeah, Austria, the Czech Republic. I don't know if it's in NATO. I think it is, but I don't know. I know that Austria isn't. So, but I don't know about the Czech. I think it is. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I think the Czech is in NATO. Yeah, I think the Czech Republic is in NATO. Oh yeah, I can't forget that bit about the Netherlands. So there's 4 countries not at war. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Austria, Switzerland, and Ireland. And this is major conflict. Over here in the east, we got Ukraine doing a little push and not in the nuclear areas because radioactive areas, not good. So Ukraine completely is encircled the spot where there wasn't nuclear and begins to push from there. And Poland and Lithuania starts towering in to I forgot what it was called. Kaliningrad. They start towering in into Kaliningrad, but at first Kaliningrad does its push, but then they're kicked out from Lithuania, and then from there, Polish troops begin their way into Kaliningrad. And then they capture Kaliningrad. That's very unlikely, but they had support, so. And then they begin their way into Belarus. Russia would not allow this, but they're in war, so let it be. Let me change the color. That looks more like a purple than a darkish blue. That looks like alder blue. Tell me in the comments what color that looks like, because that does not look similar to blue. That looks more like an alder, so yeah. So they begin their way into Belarus, and Belarus hardly did anything. All they did was let Russia pass through there. And this is what they're getting. Wow. R.I.P. Belarus. And they begin their way, and they eventually capture Oliver. I know it's not that. I know it's definitely not the name of the capital, but I'm going to call it Oliver. I know it starts with an O, capital. So they capture the capital of Belarus, and there's the surrender because they got literally nothing else. And this attracts Russia. It attracts Russia, mate. So Russia makes their way back into Belarus, reclaiming its areas. But they literally forgot about Ukraine. So Ukraine keeps making their way, and eventually the radioactive is gone, so and then they keep making their way into the eastern Ukraine. Yeah, don't talk about in the comments how I stutter so much. And in about 7 years, no, not 7 years, Let's do 4. Yeah, 4 years. This is what I think it's gonna look like. 4 years later, this is how I believe the war would be looking like. Yeah, NATO has been doing nothing, so has Serbia. Yeah, I didn't do much. Okay, I fixed Serbia. It kind of looks like the YouTube Shorts for a second, but so this is how the war is going. Serbia is getting crushed, and Russia and Belarus is not doing great. NATO hasn't been doing much in this war. All they really did is take Kaliningrad, not much. And if you don't know now I'm starting to think about it. I'm starting to run out of space in this map. So I'm gonna go to the world map real quick. So this is what I moved on, because the map got so fulfilled that I had to move to the world map. So now you can actually see United States and Canada being here, and Turkey. Yeah, it's pronounced like that now. And you can actually see the other countries that's gonna help Russia now. And I don't want this video to go so long because it's already at 17 minutes. Well, 16, and it's 16 minutes and 38 minutes. 16 minutes and 45 seconds. So, yeah. I don't want it to be that long, so I'm gonna just speed it up. So what happens here is that Ukraine begins to cut Russia in half. They successfully do that. They take the southern portion. Russia revives Belarus. Belarus declares war on Poland, even though they already were. And then and Belarus does its first push into Poland because they absolutely hate Poland. Poland takes that land back and begins pushing into Belarus, and then so is Ukraine, and yeah, you know the drill. Belarus collapses again. They begin their way into Russia, and then Russia is getting fulfilled. And now Russia's getting the same treatment from almost 90 years ago. Before it was Third Reich, now it's NATO. Like, that's crazy, man. Before it was the Third Reich, now it's NATO. And what's the Third Reich? Germany. It's not the German Empire for sure, but it's the other Germany. You know it? It has it's inverted Japan, and has some symbol on it. Winter comes. Winter's gone. Winter comes. Winter's gone. Winter comes. Winter comes. Winter's gone. And winter's gone. And it's winter, but Russia has struggles doing their push again. Because usually it's Russia's time to shine when it comes to winter. And why isn't Russia doing much? Because they've lost all their materials. And they can't get it back because Siberia is like, oh dear. Well, yeah, they got Siberia, which is like mostly their land, but then they're going to have to transport it all the way over there. And at the same time, Siberia is running out of materials. Like, they use all the oil, they use all the iron, the copper. So, it's extremely rare for Siberia to run out of oil, which probably never is going to happen. But at the same time, this war has been going since 2022, and it's 2048. So, it's been a while. So NATO keeps pushing into Russia until they've gotten to the front line of, until they've gone to the front line of Siberia. Now that NATO's about to interfere Siberia, this is really good for Russia because Siberia can get as cold to negative 40 degrees in winter. And that's not the coldest because that's an average. It can get well, the lowest temperature ever recorded was found there, but the lowest temperature was negative 128 degrees. Because, well, yeah, that's Fahrenheit. And that was found in Antarctica. And that portion was found in Russia. But the coldest city in Russia is Yakutsk, and Yakutsk is as cold as negative 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's really cold. So if they do manage to get some near Yakutsk, around these areas, NATO's gonna die because it's really cold. But either way, Russia's hardly even alive, so Russia surrenders. And there is the end of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Let me just fix up this mess. So this is present-day Russia and Ukraine. And let me redraw the borders right now in 3, 2. This is how Ukraine looks right now after the war. And by the way, Belarus is under Polish rule. I forgot to change that. Whoops. Belarus is under Polish rule after their defeat on Poland during the war. So, oh yeah, it was actually split by Ukraine and Poland, so it was actually split. So this is how Ukraine looks and a little bit of Poland. So for instance, let me color them in so you can see how they would look. So this is Ukraine right here. It looks like this, and by the way, they get Crimea and a little bit of Russia down there. So the red is Ukraine present day. Well, not present day, basically 2050, because this war ended around 2050. Because this war is known to be World War III also. So in my accusation, World War III, it will start, and it's gonna be major conflict in Europe, and Serbia is not the main attraction. And Poland is going to be also in red because let me redraw. Let me get that out. And the red is Poland. So this is how Poland looks. Poland doesn't look that great of its borders. At the same time, it has more land. So that's cool. And they share a longer border with Lithuania. And they share a border with Latvia now. That's cool. And, my bad, Kaliningrad is now Polish rule. So, yeah. So this is what Poland got after the war, and this is what Ukraine got after the war. That's crazy. So those two countries were majorly the one that got land, and the losses for Russia is to reduce their military and to change their capital from Moscow to St. Petersburg. And that's the end of the video. And to make sure you don't have to subscribe because I'm not begging, I'm just saying it'd be cool. And I'll see you whenever I feel like posting. Bye.